Hi, and welcome to my presentation. My name is Sherrick Peck. I'm a physical therapist by profession, and so excited to share some things with you today. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in here for the interest of time. And I want to talk about optimizing the central nervous system at home. One of my favorite subjects, how to fight chronic pain, and so much more. There's a little device that I created or invented. We hold 4 patents on that between my wife and myself. Quite a process. We created the Tuner Pro to gently assist the vagus nerve, the driver of the primary healing system in the body, to function at its very best. Pain relief and improved brain function are a wonderful side effect of that process. Let's move myself. Let me show you my little cute family. We have 7 children, my wife Cheryl, and as our family continues to grow, the picture on the bottom shows that that the numbers grow. And even got my cute little 8-year-old mother in the picture. Not going to offer any medical advice, but if you have some questions for me, I'm happy to answer those. This is me. This is where I started out about 2 years of age, broke my neck, kind of a rough start to life. I spent years and pretty much all of my life suffering with one sort of chronic pain or another. Add to that a broken back in my mid-teen years. I suffered a stroke when I was 17, learned to walk again. A number of multiple bad accidents and injuries have plagued my existence. But then all of us have a similar story in one way or another, don't we? The vagus nerve and the vibration connection, the reciprocal interactions of the trigeminal and vagus systems, trigeminal being cranial nerve number 5, vagus being cranial nerve 10, and some therapies aimed at enhancing vagus tone in the home. Here's some research articles. You're welcome to these slides to see where I obtained some of my information. This image is shared from my friend Ryan Cedermark at Brain Chat. And Dr. Cedermark says, you know, the brain is extremely complex, and what it controls in the body is extremely complex. But as long as you understand the rules and what you're affecting, it's not too hard to design a program to be able to help the body function better and eliminate a lot of the chronic pain. The trigeminal nerve, the cranial nerve number 5, it's a motor, primarily a motor branch of the nervous system. It's real strong in clenching the teeth and even tongue movement and facial features, but it has a real strong sympathetic function. So that's what is involved in the fight, flight, freeze response. There's a couple of other really important cranial nerves that I love to discuss, primarily cranial nerve 7, which is your facial features and facial expressions nerve, and the cranial nerve 9, which helps you breathe. Cranial nerve 10, though, the vagus nerve, is so important in getting the nervous system to be able to heal. And this is what we're all shooting for, that nice, calm, relaxed smile that you can't help but smile when you look at this little beautiful feature. But oftentimes we're not there. So we need to figure out ways to be able to get the that vagus nerve functioning better, because it's responsible for inflammation. It helps you decrease inflammation, strengthens your memory. Who doesn't need that? Helps you breathe, increases salivation, controls the relaxation response, inhibits depression, regulates serotonin production. It has 3 times more messages to the brain than it takes messages from the brain to the rest of the body. So it has a real strong role to play in the emotional and the executive brain functions. Plays a role in attention, emotion, and anxiety. It's a driver in the gut-brain axis. It's bidirectional. The gag reflex is a strong connection with the vagus nerve. Heart rhythm, it controls that, helps regulate blood pressure, regulates stomach acid, and it just so happens that a branch of that nerve is responsible for your vocal cords. So that gives rise to some very unique therapies that we can utilize with the vagus nerve, hence the vibration component. Now I put a little picture in here of a teeter-totter or a seesaw, and I want you to understand it's fairly simple. When the trigeminal nerve, or the facial features of fight, flight, freeze, and all of those components, when it's strong, meaning you're afraid something's coming at you and it's got teeth, that's all that's happening in the central nervous system, is it's getting your body ready to freeze or run away or fight. And when that's happening, the vagus nerve on the other end of the spectrum, it's not functioning very well. Well, some of us, through surgeries, traumas, and all kinds of other things, we may get stuck in that whole fight or flight paradigm where the trigeminal nerve stays functioning high and we just don't get to sleep and don't get to rest and recover. So the vagus nerve never gets a chance to come back into balance. So a lot of this discussion hinges on the fact that we need to get our vagus nerve functioning better to be able to get our body to heal. A couple of take-home messages. Move that out of the way. Humming or talking during activities increases vagal tone. That's cool to know, right? Gargling, strong and proud, it increases vagal tone. And improve vagal tone, remember the seesaw, if we improve the tone of the vagus system, that trigeminal or the fight, flight, freeze response has to take a break. So we want to increase vagal tone for a lot of life's activities. Evoking the gag reflex. Yeah, and you can use vibration actually to do that too. Just stick it in the back of your throat where that little uvula is. Oftentimes you can evoke a gag response, which immediately tells your vagus nerve to start functioning better. Just be careful when you do that. Don't do it too strong. Biting the tongue calms down the trigeminal nerve firing. That's a cool little hint. Controlled movement with applied resonance, especially on the acupuncture points. These are just beds for the nervous system where you can take communication straight to the brain. So I'll explain that a little bit more and show you in just a few minutes. Carefully applied vibration through bilateral cranial nerves is extremely helpful for calming down the trigeminal system and improving function of that whole vagal system. And if you add in balanced music or sounds, especially on one side of the brain or the other that is maybe too fired up, you can actually improve the way the brain is functioning and get it to calm down as well. Vibration with scraping improves sensory awakening. This is a really cool concept that we have invented. In fact, we have a patent on that. Balancing with applied vibration helps improve the neuroplasticity, or the way the brain is remembering things. Oh, here's a couple of things about what maybe won't help you. I created this funny little mask here because that's how many windings are in this, what we call a vibration motor that you buy off the shelf at just about any pharmacy. This kind of vibration does not create a real balanced resonance to be able to create healing in your nervous system. You might recognize that device. It's much more like a jackhammer than it is like a calming healing tool. Here's another little cool tool you might recognize. I just want to show you how that works. We actually create a spinning motor, spinning process that teaches your nervous system how to get itself into a better state of balance. It's creating a motion just like the planets going around the sun, or just like atoms and electrons, how they work going around, spinning around an atom. Anyway, these will help you understand a little bit more about how that process works, that we create resonant energy in your central nervous system. So just a couple of things to help when the nervous system is sort of sensitive, meaning that anything that comes in contact with it feels like you're entering into a war zone. And we see that with an awful lot of individuals with CRPS, with POTS, with trigeminal neuralgia and many other neuralgias, is their nervous system is just super sensitive. So one of the first keys is to pillow or pad or cushion or buffer, turn it down to start. You might need to put a really soft pillow in between you and a resonant device. Multisensory stimulus, give the brain food. I was on a call with an individual today, and she said, my brain has a hard time healing when I'm trying some of the techniques, even using the tuner, and I know it should work better. And I said, well, one of the first things that might help is give your brain more stimulus so that it's got more to think about instead of just what it's sensing in a particular area. So you can use it while walking, or you can use it while putting a TENS unit on another part of the body to give the brain more input, or use it under a laser or a red light bank so that you're giving more food and nutrition to the brain. You might try different exercises while you're doing it. You might stand on one leg if you can stand. Just giving the brain a lot more variety or multisensory stimulus helps the brain to calm down its attentiveness into particular areas that you've got sensitivity. And exhaling is really the big key in the breathing. If we can get you to exhale fully and concentrate on that, it really helps your brain to calm down. And I'm going to combine this in just a minute with a few other activities. But chemicals of gratitude can heal. You've often heard that, but here's a way to add in some of those chemicals that really can get your brain to start functioning better. You see, if you will hold your breath out or exhale everything out of your lungs, and while your breath is out, think of things that you're extremely grateful for up until that point when you must breathe in. Those things that you thought about when you were out of breath become focal points for your brain. So if you can think of 7 or 8 things when you're out of breath that you're super grateful for, when you breathe in, those thoughts are cemented into your central nervous system. A little bit about how that might work. Certain muscles in your nervous system we target with our device in some of the applications. We always ask a person to put their tongue in between their teeth and hum. Humming directly engages the vagus nerve. Tongue in between the teeth tells that trigeminal system to stop firing so much. So how you do some of these techniques really helps you to be able to enhance the effect. Now, I'm not going to go deep into the anatomy, but there is so much in the way your body works and the brain works that is designed into the techniques that we've put together for you. Some of the techniques are just calm down certain areas in the body where you get a lot of excess firing. But the scraping process at the feet, at the hands, can be a really good way to wake up the central nervous system. Now, you might say, I can't touch my feet. Well, you may not be able to touch them right now, but if you'll just map out your body a little bit and find out where you can take it to, maybe you can use it on your hands. Maybe you can't. Maybe you could use it on your shoulder, but not your hand. Mapping those places out that you can use the device and slowly start to send stimulus to the brain helps the brain to be able to calm down some of the other areas where it's been so fired up. One of my favorite techniques doesn't work well for somebody that's got CRPS in a lower extremity, but it's a beautiful technique if they've got CRPS in an upper extremity. Anyway, there's lots of ways that we can use our little tool to be able to help you heal. But don't forget, you increase the effectiveness of these techniques are in the things that you do, biting down gently on the tongue, offering a wide variety of extra stimulus into the brain that doesn't let it pay as much attention to those areas that have been so fired up. I hope this has been a great little help for you. And if you have any questions at all, here's some ways to get a hold of me, and wait to see how this little discussion helps you in your further journey along life's paths. I like this quote from Dr. Michael Trayford. He says, "Thank you for your contribution to this world. I see your invention as a musical instrument. The more I play it, the more I see its complexities and potential." Now, a lot has gone into that little tool that we use. Over 3,000 energy points are utilized, and we use the cat purring harmonic range as a basis to create these songs, if you will, in your nervous system. These songs are helping a lot of people to heal. And I hope that it gives you some food for thought that will help you in your own healing journey. If there's anything that I can answer, please reach out to me. Thank you very much.